Close! Hit! 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 Hit!
What you are about to see may be difficult and disturbing to watch. Strong language will be used. Viewer discretion is advised. About 3:15 p.m., Thursday, April 9th, Aurora 911 received a call from Aurora Mental Health about a man possibly experiencing a mental health crisis at an apartment complex near East Stanford Circle and East Tufts Drive in Aurora's South District.
Aurora, not emergency. This is Eric. May I help you?
This is the Entrado emergency call relay center for Vonage. I have on my back line, and she is requesting assistance for a client that's threatening suicide. The address for the client is going to be 14607 East Stanford Circle in Aurora. I'm going to connect you to one moment.
Thank you.
I have dispatch on the line.
We were doing a follow-up call. He is at home right now, but he just said he was going to kill himself with a knife.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and get that call started.
Any available David Unit Channel 3. David Unit Channel 3. 126.
26.
126, 127. I'm going to have to start you towards the suicide threat with a knife. 14067. 14067 East Stanford Circle. Caller said the subject is suicidal and had a knife to his throat.
Hi, Cap. You got rescue station?
I can get him started.
Hey, 48. Can you add me to that call as well? I'll be coming from D1.
About 3:25 p.m., while officers were still driving to the scene, the crisis response team contacted the man's mother by telephone. The mother provided information to officers that her son threatened to kill himself or wanted to have police officers kill him. The officers then expedited their response to the scene. 3 additional officers were also dispatched to assist with the call. The first officers arrived at the scene beginning at 3:31 p.m. The crisis response team contacted the man by telephone at approximately 3:44 p.m. Here's body cam footage of that phone call.
I don't want to see anything happen to you, and I'd like to have this end as peaceably as possible. So just due to you having a knife and everything that's going on, that's why so many officers have responded. You know, there's an ambulance, all sorts of things like that. It's not because you're in trouble. It's also not because we want to see anything happen. It's for our own safety. Can you hear me, Amari?
While the crisis response team was on the phone, other officers in a containment position also made attempts to communicate with the man through an apartment window. Those officers radioed to other personnel at scene that the man was armed with a large knife and was holding it to his throat. Here is body cam video from one of the officers attempting to communicate with the man through the apartment window.
Please answer your door. We're here to check on your welfare. You're not in any trouble.
He has eyes on someone with a less lethal. We're talking to him right now.
Answer your door, please. We don't want anybody to get hurt.
I'm going to go ahead and move up to your guys' location.
We don't want anybody to get hurt. Come out with your hands up with nothing in your hands. This is the Aurora Police Department. In 124, he does have a knife in his hand. It looks like it's kind of, he's kind of holding it up to his throat and along his forearm. Please answer the door. Come out with your hands up. Put the knife down.
You're not in trouble. We just want to talk to you, man. That's it.
The thing is, if he comes out.
Running! Like, close! Hit! 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 Hit!
Give us a little warning. I think we're going to hear it.
Run it! Go, 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 go!
All right.
Hit him!
Following the shooting, officers and medical responders provided first aid to the officer before he was rushed by an ambulance to a local hospital. He's had multiple surgeries from his injuries and has been released and continues to recover. The canine sustained a stab wound during the attack. He was taken to the vet for emergency surgery. He has since been released and is expected to make a full recovery. The man was handcuffed for officer and scene safety following the shooting. The officer on scene who deployed his taser unintentionally charged the device while attempting to remove the cartridge and tased the man again. Officers and medical responders also provided life-saving actions on the man until he too was rushed to the nearby hospital. The man died from his injuries shortly after arriving.
Okay, folks, that is your first case. You've got a mentally disturbed person. They call for help. Law enforcement comes and they do some try to do some intervention, and it doesn't go well. He winds up getting non-lethal used on him by way of baton rounds. He's shot. He's got a knife. Stabs at a dog. Kills. Is shot and ultimately tased and dies of wounds. Any questions or any portion of this video we'd like to see again before we deliberate?
Can we see the first camera back again, please?
Sure can. And while I do this, I want to remind everyone, why don't we put up on the bottom our call-in number? We have call-in abilities tonight. And after the jury gives the decision, we're going to open up to a couple of calls before we go to Jason. We'll do that between each case.
The thing is, if he comes out.
Running! Right! Loose! Hit! 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 Hit!
Give us a little warning.
Hit!
Put the knife down.
Running! Right! Loose! Hit! 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 Hit!
Give us a little warning. I think we're going to hear it.
Did that give you what you needed to see?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any questions on this? Going once.
I don't.
Going twice. Big Ron's put up the clock. Let's talk about it. Okay, Victor, I'm going to go to you just to see if you've got audio.
Can you hear me?
I got you. What I want from you guys, right now, I just want a quick initial opinion of what you think about it. You don't have to give me a decision. We're just deliberating, but just kind of voice out which way you're leaning right now. Go ahead, Victor.
It's pretty clear to me. He was warned audibly. We know he's mentally ill, but that's nothing you can do there. It's pretty clear to me. The dog was released. He stabbed the dog. Then he attacked the officer. Officer was obviously bleeding from his knife wounds. Dog was wounded. Pretty clear to me.
Okay. What crime were they there for?
Suicide.
That's not illegal.
No, it's not.
Okay. Let's go to one of the ladies. AJ, I'm coming to you first.
Okay, so I agree with Victor, honestly. I also noted in my notes that they waited to act until his back was turned and he ran. They did not shoot until he heightened the situation. So I'm keeping that in mind while making my decision.
But they turned a dog loose on him. They didn't shoot
Well,
him.
and then he
dog go by him.
and then stabbed the officer.
I'm sorry, say that last part again.
I said, then he stabbed the dog, and then he
The dog's biting him. Seems reasonable, right?
Well, that seems like he's tightening the situation.
Okay. Heather, how say you?
Mm. Um, it's an interesting one. I think that ultimately, when law enforcement tells you to stop, not stopping is the crime. Um, I am concerned because you made a really good point. Suicide is not illegal. However, he was addressed directly. He left his apartment knowing that he was running from the police. He also made statements saying he wanted to either die by his own hand or by the police. So even though I see where there could be some issues in how it played out, ultimately he didn't obey an officer of the law and he ran. And then he did stab the dog. And that kind of cinched the deal for him when
So
he
what
made
about
it.
how much leadway should we give people who are mentally ill? Should they be held to, if the cops tell you to stop, you got to stop?
Well, if I'm told to stop, I stop.
I'm
I
pretty
mean, I
sure.
kind of,
Well,
kind of
I'm going to go out on a limb that you're not insane. I'm going to go that far
true.
right now. We'll see
And
by the end of the show.
that's the struggle. I know of a situation that was very similar years ago, and it broke my heart for the parents. Um,
I tell you
I'm
what, let's
not
give you some.
sure that everything played out correctly with the police officer. I'm concerned about the use of the dog. The dog was probably an unnecessary thing at that point. The guy's main threats are against himself, but I still believe that he needed to stop. And when he stabbed the dog, he took it to a place where it's no return. You can't let the police officers or the dog die. So okay.
Okay, let's go to Marquis. Marquis, what do you think?
I
think that the fact that he released the dog is our canine cop has been trained. And so I think part of the releasing of the dog was based on how the dog was reacting and the fact that he was walking away. Releasing the canine officer after the individual was actually a step to try to prevent anything further from happening. I think that they did what they could because, again, the individual in question did stab the dog as well. So I think at this point, I think that we're in a reasonable situation. However, I think we also have to emphasize that they did warn him. Now, if you go back to the part about the suicide and whether that's legal or illegal, that is legal, but it is not legal to cause harm to others. And his actions were then starting to cause harm to others. And that's where it ended up the way it was. So I think it's all required, reasonable.
Okay, Rugman, what do you think, sir?
I believe it was reasonable. A couple of different things you talked about. It's not illegal to try to commit suicide, and it's certainly not. They were there on a welfare check trying to do something in the best interest of him. He had reasonable warning. Since the K9 is an officer, he actually attacked two different officers, first the K9, and then the regular patrol officer.
That's not a fact. A dog is not considered an officer. There may be some enhancements because he's a service dog, but that's not the law doesn't see that it's the same as attacking an officer.
Okay. Well, then let me change that somewhat and say he showed a willingness to harm something when he hit the dog with the knife, and then of course he attacked the police officer. So in my opinion, the officer thought it was an imminent threat, and he did what he needed to do to stop that threat. I think it was reasonable.
Okay, so someone calls because they're concerned about this guy, and as you say, Rugman, we get a welfare check, and the police come to do a welfare check for the safety of others, right? And then end up turning a dog on the guy and killing him. He probably would have been better off without a welfare check, wouldn't you think?
No doubt about that. You know, it's not necessarily what happened when a phone call comes in and says somebody wants to commit suicide. When an officer has to do a welfare check, at that point, it becomes a completely different scenario. The hope would be that the man would put the knife down. He didn't want to harm anybody, and he was able to get some mental health. That's not how this played out. He was told to stop. He attacked an officer with a knife.
It played out differently. It did.
Pardon?
I said it played out differently, 100%. It didn't work out, I think, the way it was intended.
Exactly. There were two events, a welfare check, and then unfortunately a knife attack from a mentally ill man on a police officer who thought he was in imminent danger and responded to it.
Okay. So no one here thinks that the police created this situation where deadly force was used.
I don't.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, let's take a vote. Let's get this first case in the books. Marquis, I'm coming to you first. How do you vote? Reasonable or not?
Reasonable.
AJ, reasonable or not?
I'm going to vote reasonable.
Melissa, reasonable or not? I'm sorry, Heather. Got the name all wrong. Heather, reasonable or not?
You're unreasonable. No, reasonable, I believe.
Without a doubt. Reasonable there. Victor, how say you?
Reasonable.
And Rugman, you going to tie it up for a unanimous decision? Reasonable or not?
It's unanimous, reasonable.
Post the verdict. Jury says reasonable force.